Let's slate in.
Let's you want to roll back down prompter? We lost the first few lines. There we go.
All right, roll. I don't have picture on one monitor. It would be Abel's camera. Everybody hold your roll.
Kettlebell, it's for Migraine Treatment Centers of America. Periscope.
What?
Periscoping it.
What does that mean?
You heard of the Facebook or the Twitter?
Yeah. I've not heard of the Periscope.
Yeah.
For real? Is that something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it streams live video at real time. Like people in Hong Kong could be watching me right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kettlebell, where are you from?
Kettlebell.
That's a dude's name.
He's watching this right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
Periscope.
Oh, Periscope.
That's just not just a little
Oh,
bit
he's
creepy.
living in Germany. See? He's in the army in Germany.
Is it pointed at me? Don't put me on there.
All right, let's roll.
Yeah, we don't want to call from our
Find the
agent.
slate, everybody.
Steve.
Okay,
Hey,
Mark.
Foxworth.
ABC, Common Mark, Lisa, check one.
Okay, stand by. Wait till we get clear. And whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to this program on the omega things are and what the traditional treatments are, medications, therapies, Botox, and we've discovered what the omega procedure is, a neurostimulation technique that interrupts the pain signals to the brain. Does it work? Well, with us today is Lisa. She's a patient of the omega procedure.
Let's do it one more time from the top there.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to this program on the omega procedure. We've discussed what chronic migraines are and what the traditional treatments are, which are medications, therapies, and Botox, and we've discovered what the omega procedure is, a neurostimulation technique that interrupts the pain signals to the brain. But does it work? Well, with us today is Lisa, a patient of the omega procedure, and thank you so much, Lisa, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're anxious to talk about this topic because you found relief and you were really suffering from migraines. What was your story?
Well, about 30 years ago, I was in a car accident, and at first, my migraines were not that severe. But in 1991, I had a job, and after that, it got to the point where my life was centered around my migraines. I had migraines at least 5 days a week. It got to the point where I've been married to my husband for, it'll be 26 years in August. And we've gotten to we could not make definitive plans. It would be wait and see if I was having a good day. And my entire family is that way. They knew, Christmas time, we would usually go to my sister's house. We couldn't even schedule when we were going to leave, because we knew if I was having a migraine that day, you can't very well travel when you think you're going to have a day where you throw up all day. It's really not conducive to getting in the car and driving. When we went to places like my sister's house, I would spend at least half the time in bed. While everyone else is going out and having a good time, I would be in bed. That's not a life.
And so the good news here is you found the omega procedure.
Yes.
How?
I have, for years, gone through, I've done everything you can imagine. And in January, I signed up online for a newsletter called for migraine.com. And there are several chat rooms. And I was scrolling through one day, and there was some information, and it actually went back 3 years ago, whenever the Omega procedure first came out. And I had never heard of it. So I actually Googled it to see what came up. And I found all the information about it. And so I immediately put it in the Migraine Treatment Centers of America and requested information. The next day, I got an email from Hillary. And that began this whole trip. And fabulous thing was our insurance always says no to everything I've tried to get Botox. They had said no, we have been fighting. I've gone through every appeal procedure to get Botox and they kept saying no. They said yes to the trial. A week, they said yes to the trial. So I came down for the trial. My sister actually has a home here in the Dallas area. And so I came. The trial was amazing. 5 days. No headache pain.
And that's a big deal for you. You
Yes.
made a statement that you've had a headache of some sort every single day for the last 15 years.
Yes.
And during the trial, no pain.
No pain. And I did everything that I could think of to give me a headache. And while I was here, the weather was terrible. It rained. I mean, every night there were severe thunderstorms.
Is weather typically a trigger?
Oh, good grief, yes. Every time, I am a better weather forecaster than anybody. And it's so funny because whenever they are saying, okay, we're going to have this kind of weather, people, my friends will say, well, is it true? And I can tell them yes or no.
Based on your level of discomfort.
Yes, and I have not been able to eat cheese in I don't know how long. I just recently found out that I could have mozzarella because it's not aged cheese. For years, we would order pizza without cheese. Now that's really desperate when you order a pizza with no cheese.
I don't even think that's pizza anymore.
No, well, I mean, when you really want it that badly, and very few people actually get your order right when you order a pizza without cheese. So we would always try to order it half and half, and 9 times out of 10, we'd have to have Marie make the pizza.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Lisa, is you couldn't plan holiday trips when you were with their family, supposed to be spending this great time together. You were stuck in bed from nausea and these migraines. Life was not so good for you before. You discovered the Omega procedure. In fact, you just had it 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
How are you feeling?
Fabulous. When I got home from having the permanent one put in, we actually got to go on a date, which we planned, and I was able to show up. It was a weekend in Northwest Arkansas when it was raining so much that they actually had trees fall over in the Bentonville Square. Normally, I would have been out for at least a week. We made reservations at a restaurant. When my husband got off work, he came and picked me up. We were able to make our reservations, and it was the most wonderful thing. And we've actually gotten to do that again. I have 11 rose bushes that I have been able to purchase from the Antique Rose Emporium in Breen, Texas, and get out and actually I'm going to have a rose garden, which I have wanted to have for so long because I love to be able, when my mom had them when we were growing up, but I could not stand heat. I mean, if I got 5 minutes outside in heat and humidity, I would have a horrible headache. Now I can go out and do whatever I want to, and I've already done that in the last 3 weeks. And the possibilities are endless of what I can do now. We've lived in our house for 15 years. We have not painted a single thing.
Because that would be a trigger for you.
Oh yes, I mean the smell of the paint, doing all the physical work involved, no way I can pull it off. I can do it now. All by myself. I don't even have to have my husband's help.
I bet there are a lot of people watching that can relate.
Sorry. Okay, I bet there are a lot of people. Here we go.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that are watching right now who can hear your story and pieces of it resonate because they've been suffering for a long time, like yourself. What would you say to someone who's considering the Omega procedure?
Do it now. Go to your computer, put the Migraine Treatment Centers of America in there, get in touch with them. What do you have to lose except pain? I tried literally everything in the book. There was not a single thing that I didn't try. I mean, I did trigger point injections. I went to the Diamond Headache Clinic in Chicago. I have tried every single medication on the market. I mean, right now, I'm still taking my Topamax and Inderol. Those are, as soon as I get in to see my neurologist, we are going to start eliminating medication because I don't think I need it anymore. And hopefully, it's one of those things that I've been dealing with this for 30 years. The last 15 have literally been a nightmare. I am so excited. It's almost to the point where I can't put it into words. If this can help me, it can help anybody.
I think that's motivation to anybody to find out more information. So talk about the day of the procedure and the days leading up to it. I'm sure there's a lot of anticipation on your end, and I'm sure you're so grateful to have the patient coordinators help you.
Hillary, I would adopt Hillary. She can come. I'd give her a kidney if she needed it. Yeah, I feel that way about her. They were so wonderful to work with. I've never had people that were that helpful. Everyone that I ever dealt with in that whole process were fabulous. And I have dealt with a lot of people over the years getting into the different things that I have done. And they made this process so easy. It was a breeze. I mean, sometimes when you try to do things like this, it's roadblock after roadblock, and you, as the patient, have to advocate for yourself. Well, through this process, I felt like I was part of a team, and Hillary was right there with me. Everything I did, I had someone there with me every step of the way. So I never felt like I was in this by myself. And for somebody with migraines, I mean, even my husband will still say things to me, and I'm like, hello, I've been married to you for 25 years. I cannot believe that just came out of your mouth. And you would think that he would understand, but until you've actually experienced a headache, it's really difficult for people to understand what we go through.
What does he say now? Your family, your sister, what do they say now?
Both of my sisters have actually had headaches, but they are so thrilled for me. Even my dad is thrilled for me. And, my mom had migraines up until the day that she died. And she's the one, I have been more like her my entire life. And she suffered from them from when she was in her early 20s. She had, when my sister was born, they did her epidural wrong. And after that, she had migraines up until she passed away in her mid-70s. And, they kept telling her, once you get through menopause, this will stop. Never did. And she had many of the same triggers that I do. She was good at telling me what kind of weather it was. And there were certain kinds of, both of us couldn't stand. There's dust. And there's some other things. I'm sure that there were some food triggers for her. But back then, they didn't know as much as they know now. And rebound headaches, that was something no one knew anything about.
I have one last question for you, Lisa. Are you going to eat pizza with the cheese now?
Oh, I've been eating cheese like crazy. I mean, if I could have cheese every day, I would. Yesterday, I had a club sandwich that had white cheddar cheese on it. And I actually had shrimp, too. And that's another thing that has been a huge no-no. So it's like anything that I could not have before, I am going out and enjoying life again.
Well, thank you for sharing your story, because there are many people watching with the same issues and that are suffering, and you're helping them find relief. Thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Were you concerned, Lisa, at all about cosmetic? You know, they're burying leads and stuff in you. You know, let's go that direction.
Wait, what are they doing?
Okay. Were you worried at all about cosmetic? What it's going to look like?
Okay. Because what the procedure involves and,
And
where
and,
if
and
it's
did you have any?
visible.
And also let's talk about the procedure. You know, it's you know the trial. Let's talk about real quick. Hit on the trial. You know, give somebody who's thinking about it a realistic expectation of what they're going to go through.
Okay, so talk
Okay.
about the trial and then the procedure itself more technically, where it is and how it is. Okay. Yeah, right there. Okay. So Lisa, let's talk about the trial for someone who is anticipating perhaps doing this for themselves. Walk them through to kind of alleviate their fears and share your experience.
Okay, when I came for the trial, I really didn't know what to expect. When you get here, at first I thought that I was going to be awake whenever they put the leads in, but they actually put me all the way to sleep. And for my kind of migraines, I have leads here and I have leads here. And they are really good about finding out your specific type of migraine. They did a really good history to find out when I have headaches where I normally hurt. So he put leads where he thought that it would help me most. They give you all the hardware is on the or the leads are inside, but then they tape all the wiring on the outside, and then they give you, I called it my brick, and I carried it around for 5 days, and I actually ended up extending my trial one day because I didn't feel like I had a really good feel for the programming that I needed. When I first came out of it, putting the leads in, it didn't feel quite right here, and it was because of swelling. So it took a day or so for some of the swelling to go down. They give you several programs for you to run, and you have full access, and you have the representative. You can call them at any point in time, and she'll tell you, you know, if you're having issues, if you don't feel like it's doing what you need to do, she can give you more guidance to say, okay, you know, you need to do X, Y, or Z to get it to really know whether this is going to make a difference or not. And after I got out of surgery, I had a headache. So I was able to stop that headache that day. Some people, it takes 24 hours for them to